Hello and welcome. We're at Post Haste Sound in Los Angeles, California, just east of Culver City, California. I started in this business, shockingly, about 29 years ago now, and we are a full-service post-production facility. I played in rock and roll bands, garage bands as a kid, and I'm going to take you on a little tour. I sort of volunteered to be the guy that take care of the PA system and set up things for the band, and my father had taught me how to solder, and he was a communications engineer. I'm going to take you to our main mixing stage now. Come on in. When I was in high school, I decided I wanted to be a record producer. This is our largest stage here at Post Haste Sound. It's a three-man mixing console. We just wrapped a Roger Corman documentary just a few minutes ago. So I went to engineering school right out of high school. I didn't go to conventional college. I went to sound engineering school, and I started working immediately after that. This is fun. Now, a Foley stage is where we replace all of the sound and sound effects in a movie or a television show. And I'm standing on a squeaky floor, and here's a deck. I've been a live sound engineer. I've been a record producer. I've been a musician. I've worked in the manufacturing end of it. I've worked in the post-production end of it. Worked in the rock and roll end of it. Now we're going to go into the guts of the building. This is called the machine room, and this is the most important room in the building. This is where we take all these movies that we work on and we ingest them into computers, and we have all manner of digital video equipment, old analog equipment, analog tape machines, and this is where it all happens. If this doesn't work, we're in big trouble, and I just installed this. It's looking good so far. I really fell in love with the organic aspect of sound and how all the old equipment had its own personality, and the analog tape machines, the analog recording consoles, the microphones, the old processing equipment all had this organic feel to them, and they all had their own sound and their own idiosyncrasies, and it's really what sucked me in and kept me in it for a long time. I basically channeled my rock and roll ambitions. After about 25 years of that, it became apparent that I wasn't going to be Lady Gaga. So I fell in love with something else. It's really radically different, but all in the same, quite similar. I taught myself how to make wine, and I opened my own winery with my wife and my two little kids, Vines on the Marycrest winery. This is our little winery. It's where Vines on the Marycrest gets created and sold and stored and everything else. This is our little place. I come down here for 3.5 days a week. I work pretty enormously long days while I'm down here in the studio, and I work up in Paso 4 days a week, and I've driven 600 miles a week for the last 8 years to fulfill the dream of being a winemaker, and the ultimate goal in all of this is to be up in Paso Robles with my family full-time and operate Vines on the Marycrest 100%, 7 days a week, and really see what I can do with it at that point. We've been very successful so far, and I feel like I've only got half my weight in it. I really like being here, and I really like being outside, and I like growing things, and I like creating things that make people happy. For years and years I tried to make music, and I thought that was where I was going, and it's funny that it's almost the same satisfaction of like you're making somebody's meal a happy thing or somebody's wedding a happy thing, and I guess that's why, because we're never going to be rich. The model just doesn't work for us. We couldn't make enough wine to be very wealthy, but it's a rich man's game, and I'm attempting to play along because I look at it like I'm in their game, they're not in mine, you know, so I admire people who have made money on their own doing other things, and I know that when somebody drinks my wine, they're drinking me and my wife, and that's it. This is called Heart of Glass, and it's named after the old Blondie disco classic that we all love. And a lot of times, these guys who, you know, hire winemakers and hire crews and have farm laborers and all that, you know, they might make a really nice bottle of wine, but they didn't make it. And I've always got that to lean back on, you know.